Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving my final review of Heartland Season 14. I'm just talking about the season in general, and just the entire season wrapped up in one video, giving you guys my final thoughts and review of Season 14. Now, when I say final thoughts, trust me when I say there will be more videos coming about Season 14, because I have a lot of opinions and ideas of how Season 14 is going to impact Season 15, and of course I will give you guys Season 15 updates when they become available. But today's video is all about my final review of Heartland Season 14, and Heartland Season 14 is Heartland without Ty, because we lost Ty within the first 2 minutes of Season 14, Episode 1. So this entire season started off very, very emotional. It was very emotional for a lot of fans. And that, I think, is the biggest negative thing that happened in this season is, of course, Graham Wardle's departure from the show. Now, regardless of that, I will be the first to admit I am not the biggest fan of Amy and Ty, but I will admit to you guys that watching Season 14 without Ty, it feels different. It's different, but it is still Heartland. I've seen people make the argument that Heartland is not Heartland without Amy and Ty. It's different, but it's still Heartland, and I really enjoyed Season 14. Even though we did lose Ty and Graham Wardle, unfortunately, decided to leave the show, we were introduced to a lot of new characters that I didn't think I was going to like, but they have become quickly some of my new favorite characters. And I will say this, Amber Marshall, I am amazed by her performance as Amy in this season. One of the biggest things that I mentioned when I was talking about Season 14 and things that I had hoped would happen in Season 14 was that I talked about main character development. And to many people, Amy and Ty are the main characters of Heartland. Of course, we lost Ty in Season 14, Episode 1, but Amy is still the main focus of Heartland, and especially Heartland Season 14. To see Amy, have to deal with and come to the realization and accept and also help her daughter through the loss of not only her husband, but also Lindy's father, that provided a lot of character development for Amy's character this season, and Amber Marshall nailed it. I was crying, I was so emotionally attached to Amy this season, and I could genuinely feel her pain, and that is all because of Amber Marshall's fantastic performance this season. And honestly, it's award worthy. She needs to win an award for her performance, not only as Amy this season, but of Heartland in general, but especially this season, because it was absolutely perfect. And I love this new chapter that we're seeing with Amy that was developed in Season 14 because of the loss of Ty. I love seeing Amy, deal with this new chapter, deal with being a single mom, having to rely on Jack and Lou and Georgie and Lisa and all the rest of the, characters that would be maybe considered supporting characters, because I know too many people. Again, Amy and Ty are the main characters, so anything that is not Amy and Ty are not main characters, going by my comment section anyway. And I just love this new story with Amy and this new direction that the writers are taking her character because of Graham's departure and, of course, the death of Ty so early in this season. And I think Amy's character development is one of the reasons that Season 14, despite the loss of Graham and the death of Ty, did so well, is because Amy's character was, of course, the main character that was focused on, and Amber just nailed every scene that she was in because it was absolutely perfect. Anyway, that's enough about Amy. Let's talk about my favorite character, Lou. Now, I love Lou this season. I loved her, but that should come as no surprise to anyone if you've ever seen 30 seconds of any of my videos that I've ever posted in the last 3 years. But I loved Lou this season. I love her character. I liked the storyline, actually scratch that. I loved the storyline of Lou being mayor, and I loved seeing Lou kind of deal with that and handle the criticism that came with being the mayor, especially earlier in this season. And of course, Michelle Morgan nails it, in my opinion. If you disagree, I don't care, okay? Like, Michelle Morgan, like, nails it. She nails it. I'm not even going to elaborate more on that because there is nothing else to say except that she nails it. And I really liked her character development this season as well. And because of Lou being the mayor, we were introduced to one of my new top 3 favorite characters. And that is Rick, played by Aiden Moreno. Now, when I say I love this character, I mean it, okay? In the season 14 season finale, when Rick first came on screen, I lost it. I was crying. I was so happy. And then in the season 14 finale, when he gives Lou relationship advice and is, let's face it, he's Team Peter over Team Mitch, so I love that. That scene was one of my favorite scenes of all time in Heartland. I don't care. Is that a big thing to say? Yes, it is, considering that there's been 14 seasons and a million episodes at this point. But this scene was one of my favorites in all of Heartland. Not just season 14, but in all of Heartland. Ever. Okay? Alright. If you have a problem with that, I don't care. So then the next thing that I'm going to talk about in this video is Lou, Peter, and Mitch, because this is something that I predicted was going to happen, and everyone thought I was lying, and I was like, or that I was crazy, or people, they were like, Hannah, you're absolutely insane, you're nuts, you have no idea what's going to happen, shut up. And I was right. Surprise. Lou and Mitch did not get married in season 14, and Peter confessed that he still has feelings for her, and that is the reason he couldn't come to Lou and Mitch's wedding, is because he still has feelings for her and couldn't watch her get married to someone else. I was losing my mind during that scene in the season finale, and my sister looked at me and literally was like, are you having a seizure? Because I literally was freaking out, jumping up and down, as much as you can in a wheelchair, and freaking out and screaming and crying and screaming, I knew it, for 5 minutes straight. But I really like Lou's character development this season. I love the introduction of Rick and his connection with Lou, and I'm hoping that we see more of their friendship relationship that was hinted at and very well shown in the season 14 finale, and I'm hoping we get to see more of their kind of brother, sister, best friend kind of relationship going forward in season 15, if season 15 gets renewed. By the way, it should, because we all want a season 15, right? I'm not the only one, right? And then, of course, we were introduced to new characters in season 14, like Parker, Sam Langston, and Cooper. Cooper Huez, I think, is his last name. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Sorry, pronunciation is not my friend in these videos. That's already been established over the last 3 years, okay? So, these new characters I loved. Parker, I'm like, it kind of feels like a Mallory, Georgie 2.0 kind of character, so I'm just like, okay. No hate to the actor who portrays Parker. She does a fantastic job. I'm not a fan of characters like that, just being honest with you guys. But Sam Langston and Cooper are the two characters that were introduced in season 14 that I was like, oh no. oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, this cannot be happening, not in season 14, because everyone's gonna think they're Amy's new love interest. And that's still very possible. I will explain that in videos coming later this week and in the future while we wait for the announcement of season 15. But Sam and Cooper are characters that I really like because they are characters that have a backstory that was hinted at, and it was acknowledged that they have some kind of backstory that us, the audience, is of course unaware of. And with Sam's backstory in particular, that's a kind of mysterious, darker past that I would love to see the writers explore. And I was really, really sad that we only got to see him, I think, in one episode this season, the baseball game. But I really liked his character, and I'm hoping we get to see more of him in season 14, season 15, sorry. And I really liked his introduction this season. And I think that with all of these characters, introducing especially new male characters in season 14, I think the writers were aware that we need to take this very slow, and we need to make sure that the audience doesn't feel like we're just replacing Ty, because the writers know that that would kill the show. Okay, they're aware of that, trust me. So I think that, having these characters introduced in season 14, but having them introduced as something besides a possible love interest, it was the best thing that they could do. And I think if either of these characters end up becoming Amy's new love interest going forward in Heartland, it is going to be very, very, very slow and very gradual, because the writers, of course, are aware that Amy and Ty, you can't just replace Amy and Ty without killing Heartland, and let's be honest, they don't want that, so they're not going to do that. But other than that, I really enjoyed this season. I know that it was very, very different and very emotional and very dramatic, and even for me, as someone who enjoys dramatic storylines, because it allows for more speculation, it allows for more videos, more video content ideas for me as a TV show and movie reviewer. I thought that this season was awesome. I know it was dramatic, and that is not something that Heartland does very often, but I think the way that they wrote this season is amazing. And also, just to keep in mind as well, they filmed this during a worldwide pandemic. That is something that needs to be taken into consideration as well. And we just need to thank the cast and crew that make this show possible, because their dedication to this show, both cast and crew and everyone involved with making Heartland possible, they're amazing, they're fantastic, and their dedication is amazing, and we just need to remember that, because again, they filmed this during a worldwide pandemic, and of course, Graham Wardle's departure was something that they had to deal with, and I think that they absolutely nailed it and did it in the best way possible, honoring Graham for his last 13 years on Heartland, but also I think it was the perfect exit for Ty. And looking back now, I'm glad that they didn't make Ty an absent father, and I'm also glad they didn't go down the divorce route, because I think that that would seriously take away from Ty's character and Amy and Ty's perfect relationship. So although I'm upset and sad that they killed Ty, I think that that was the only logical thing that they could have done. And of course, it was not they did not kill off Ty. Graham Wardle wanted to leave, so they had to make a way possible for him to leave and explain his character's absence. And the only way that they could do that, honoring his character, and of course Graham's dedication to the show for the past 14 years or 13 years, was to kill off Ty, instead of, again, making him an absentee father or going down the divorce route, which I think would anger a lot of Heartland fans now looking back. If you are a Heartland fan that was unhappy with this season, I think you should go back and rewatch it. I understand that season 14 was different. I understand that you're upset about Ty's death. I understand that, but please give this season a chance, maybe rewatch it. If you stop watching it halfway through the season or after episode 2 or 3, trust me, take your time and go back and watch each episode, because you will really learn to appreciate this season for what it is and this new chapter of Heartland. Also, I did not forget, I was saving it until the end of the video, congratulations, Michelle Morgan, on your directorial debut on Heartland for Season 14, Episode 9. I'm so proud of you, but everyone knows that already because I'm me. And yeah, that is all I have for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. If you made it this far in the video, let me know what you guys thought of Season 14 down in the comment section down below. What did you like? What didn't you like? Do you want a Season 15? And what did you think of this season overall? And now looking back, after the season has ended, what do you think of Ty's death and Graham Wardle's departure from the show? I will be making a whole separate video talking about Ty's death after watching Season 14, and that'll be coming probably later this week. But that is all I have for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.